Welcome to the Video Game Town Hall podcast. Listening to this very fine podcast means that you are a city council member sitting in the meeting, patiently awaiting some very big news. And here with us today is the well-dressed, official, tie as snug as a rug, Grant Bruner. How are you doing, Grant?
I'm okay. I do love how there's a new and exciting way for you to fuck up the intro every time. It's like, okay, is he going to add in town hall meeting? Is he going to call it a city council instead of town council? It's just a fun and exciting way that Jared is going to fuck up the intro of the podcast.
And I'm your host, Jared Russo, the mayor of Video Game Town. Videogame.town is the URL. That's the website.
True.
Grant, we have exciting news.
We have very exciting news. We had talked about it briefly on the last podcast, but it was recorded before we launched. We have a Patreon and a Ko-fi.
Yay!
So the Patreon has multiple tiers. You can start as low as $3 a month, and that gets you access to our Discord server, so you can chat with us, which is great, and we're on Discord regularly. We have a $5 tier, which gives you access to a monthly bonus podcast, and the first one is already available. I think the thing you need to know about this bonus podcast is not only do we talk about, the state of the site and all that good stuff, but we also it started off strong with a creepy video game character bracket where we decide who are some of the creepiest video game characters of all time. We started the first bracket, but we intend to do at least 3 more of those on our bonus side, so that's only $5 a month, gets you the bonus podcast. The $10 a month, so the $3 a month is called Townie, the $5 a month is called Heartthrob, the $10 a month is called Icon, and that is when this podcast that you're listening to right now starts having ads, which it will eventually. They will have access to an ad-free version. It will be no ads at all. If you hate ads, which I get it, I understand. Ads are annoying. So they are often necessary for people to eat food. But if you hate it, you can pay your way out of it. And that, obviously all of these tiers stack, so all of the stuff you get from the previous tiers, you get in the tiers. And the very, very top tier is $25 a month. Not only do you get all of that stuff, but you also get to help influence our coverage. We'll, give you, say, hey, here are some things we're thinking about. What makes you the most excited? That's $25 a month. If you have a bunch of money, you can do that. You can also go to our Ko-fi, which all of these will be in our show notes, and of course they're available on videogame.town. If you can't bring yourself to do another monthly subscription, which again, we understand. We also live in the same society where everything is a subscription. We live in a society, Grant. Yes, we understand. So if you just say, hey, I like what you're doing, I like independent media, I think it's cool that you're doing that, you can throw us some cash over at Ko-fi, that's ko-fi/videogametown, and give us some cash. That's great. Now, if you just don't have any spare change, like you don't have, you have your bills are big, we get it. This economy is a nightmare.
It's bad.
You can still help us if you go to Apple Podcasts or you go to Spotify, you rate us 5 stars, you give us a nice review. That will help us immensely. So if you don't have the money, it's fine. We understand. We certainly do not have any hard feelings about it. But if you'd like to help us, we would very much appreciate it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, 5 stars.
I'm most excited about possibly getting sponsors so that people can pay to not listen to ads, because I've always said that advertisements and commercials are for the technologically illiterate and my elderly parents.
I hate ads, and in fact, there are many things that I will just be like, I guess I'm not going to watch that. Like, well, I can only really get this if there are advertisements. So I guess I just won't.
It makes me think of this one city in Brazil that banned all outdoor advertising. So there's no billboards, there's no posters. It's just like color and art and life.
Hey man, we have that in good old America, Vermont. No billboards allowed in Vermont.
It's great.
Everybody moved to Vermont. It's pretty cool.
Not Delaware?
I mean, no. I mean, like, I would say that, like, there have been some rather negative aspects of people moving to Delaware, I would say. I do love Delaware, but maybe don't gentrify my state.
Maybe don't increase the long lines at Wawa by moving to where the area of Delaware that Grant lives in.
here's what I'd say. If you're moving to Delaware, pay fucking taxes, and listen here, you shits. Don't come here because you hate taxes. I have to live here. We have to raise children here. We need your taxes. So if you're coming here because you hate taxes, you're not welcome.
But corporations are now people, and the corporate people move to Delaware for tax incentives, tax breaks.
Well, they're on their way out.
I had an interesting Labor Day weekend, Grant. I played 2 games about ninjas that are sort of 2D reboots with gorgeous art from the NES era.
And
do you know what those are?
I only know them because I am editing as we record this, or like right before we record this, editing. One is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the other is Shinobi Art of something something. I couldn't care less about either one of these things. Like, wow. we are now deep into the fall of Grant doesn't give a fuck. You're about to list like so many video games, and it's gonna be like Grant does not give a fuck about any of those things. It is going to be Grant twiddling his thumbs throughout the month of September.
What if later when we do our fall preview, we try to find things that are interesting to you?
Perhaps.
That maybe you didn't realize you were interested in. Maybe I'll try to sell you on some stuff.
Maybe. Okay. These sound bad, but I have an open heart. Maybe there is something in there for me.
We're gonna find out. As for the ninja games, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a fun few hours that is definitely worth the $20 or $25 it is. It gets real hard halfway through. It gets really, like, overly hard to the point where I had to, like, lower the difficulty. Thankfully, there's a bunch of accessibility options. Cool pixel art, cool sprites, kick-ass music. Very simplistic in terms of the combat. Like, it's very much just like the NES, like, you just hit the button and your guy just swipes your sword left and right. They add a little more to it, but it's usually like a one-hit kill kind of a thing. And there's some good platforming, and I definitely enjoyed it, but upon playing Shinobi Art of Vengeance, it makes that game look like Pac-Man for the Atari 2600.
Okay, so this is we're talking like a huge gap in quality.
One game is good. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is flippin' great. It's real good. You won't be interested.
You beat Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Ragebound. Did you beat Shinobi yet?
I'm on the last level. I was actually playing earlier today, and there's
so it is possible that it shits the bed at the end.
No. I mean, there's some really challenging platforming stuff in the very last level, and it's like challenging in a good way, where it's like you want to like go and like beat your head against the wall. Ninja Gaiden, it like got stupid hard, and you're like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. No, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I would say, is like a degree less than Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown in terms of Metroidvanias. Like, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is like an all-timer, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance is like just a tier beneath that. It's absolutely gorgeous to look at.
So in your post, which is up now, when you're hearing this, that was the term Metroidvania Souls-like, and it makes me want to vomit. Just like, it's so clunky. We have to as people who write about video games, the community of people who write about video games, we got to do better than that fucking slop.
I would say Shinobi is 90% a Metroidvania and 10% a Souls-like.
Like, we can't just keep stapling on the names of video games
as a genre. Why not?
Because it sucks so bad. It's the clunkiest shit. Like, imagine if we still referred to first-person shooters as, like, Doom-likes in 2025. It would be deeply embarrassing.
It's a Doom-like with Souls-like mechanics. What's wrong with that?
Ugh. Like, listen, I'm not even saying... I'm like, obviously those things are not up my alley. I'm not even saying get rid of those concepts. What I'm saying is we gotta rebrand. We gotta fucking fix it. It's like... The more shit you add onto it, the closer we get to collapse.
I know that there are some other websites, who I guess now are our competitors or our peers, who really tried to push search action for Metroidvania, and that's just stupid.
I mean, that's not good. Like, the thing is, you have to if you're going to try to take over something that has already taken root, it has to be good. Search action is, I would say, less clunky, but it's not good enough. Like, it isn't catchy enough to overpower what has happened. You gotta go snappier.
I know that games that are like Vampire Survivors, so like I think they're called Garlic Likes, and that's funny. That's clever.
I mean, it's funny. I don't know if it's good, but it is funny.
That's pretty good. Anywho, Shinobi, if you watched gameplay, the art style is unreal. It's unbelievable. To see that game in motion, it's like this fluid, okami. It's like water and ink, and it like runs on, like, the animation runs on the twos, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Like, it is jaw-dropping. And like the creature design and the levels, like, it's like a cool neon lit like fish market, or like you're inside of like a giant like monster, and you're on like a fast moving train, and there's like jet planes like bombing. Like, it is visually stunning, but it also is a Metroidvania in that like the levels are broken up, so you get like, it's like piecemeal. So you get like little sections, little levels.
Is it in animation, in traditional animation, things typically run on twos, though, right? Unless like it's like the most high end possible animation. So like the default is animating on twos. The Spider-Verse like laggy, floaty type thing, that has to be like animating on the fours, right? Like, it has to be like every fourth frame is updating or something, right?
From my limited expertise, from what I understand, since everything now it's like it runs on the ones, and that it's like one frame, one,
right.
Like, going to a 2 or a 3 is sort of like, okay, that's a little stilted. It's different. 4, I think that might be like way too much, but again, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Yeah. But certainly that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse type effect.
Yeah. It's such like a well-designed game that's paced really well, and it's really fun, and it's like not brutally difficult, and like exploring is worth it, and like the map is good, and it's just got like a vibe. Like, you just groove with it. Like, you just immediately start, and you're on like a white wolf, and it's like side scrolly levels, or you're like on like a surfboard and like the water that like it's a reference to like the earlier games, but it feels like that level in the sewers in TMNT Turtles in Time. It is a delight. I would imagine that this is probably going to end up on my top 10 of the year. It's really, really, really worth the price, which I think is like $30. I think I might have gotten it for like 25, because it was on sale, where it was like, if you pre-order, you get $5 off. Well worth it. Phenomenal game. So that's all I've been doing this weekend, is playing ninja games.
Have you become the Shinobi?
I don't know if I've become the Shinobi, but I definitely think that the character name Joe is not a great ninja name, but that goes back to the 80s. They just named the ninja Joe, so he's the Shinobi for sure.
If you disappeared in a puff of smoke, Ian, during this podcast, and left but a log in your place, do you think I would notice?
I would hope so.
Yeah, but the whole thing, you're so sneaky. It would be like, man, the rest of that podcast with that log was great.
These two games I'm talking about, there's no stealth. It's platforming and combat and combos and upgrades and
this is not very ninja-like then.
No, it's not.
Isn't the whole thing about ninjas is that they sneak up on you and then murder you? They don't just run in with a katana and start stabbing.
Well, these games, it's throwing kunai and magical powers, like summoning snakes, and you get like a
snakes, you say?
Oh, what have you been doing this weekend? Speaking of snakes,
I'm still in a dream, Jared. Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
We had streamed some Snake Eater. This is the Metal Gear Solid Delta. This is the Unreal Engine 5. It is a remake, but also it's such a remaster. It's the most remaster, you might say, of Metal Gear Solid 3. This is like of Subsistence. There's some quality of life stuff. Those, like, the controls are updated. It looks like a modern game, but I don't want to blow anyone's mind. It is that game It is that PS2 game. This is a fancy looking PS2 game. And it has all of like the positives and negatives that come with that. Like, I think that game is at its core very good, and I think the story and implementation is very good and very funny and weird and eye roll inducing. I will also say, Jared, when we streamed it, we were like, we just missed the cutoff of like where the game got really horny. Because the game gets really horny. There is like you meet a lady who is in like a jumpsuit, and she unzips her jumpsuit, and she's basically just in like a bikini top. And then there you see a little like R1 button pop up, and you're like, what does this R1 button do? And it's like, it's Snake's POV looking at her barely covered breasts, and you go, oh, right. Metal Gear's horny. Right. Of course. Hideo Kojima has the boner style, and he's like, boing, 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 which is...
Are these games all just about Kojima? Like, at a certain point, like, is each one just about, like, his point in his life, and every story is just, like, what he's interested in, and, like, what, like, you know, what his kinks are? It's just, like, are these things really about anything other than just, like, Kojima?
I mean, I think you can't remove Kojima from those games. Like, so much of it is, like, I have opinions about nuclear warfare. I read the Wikipedia article about this thing. I read the Wikipedia article about nanomachines, and I have thoughts about it. Is very much a Metal Gear experience. I will say, I think it is a good game, and I think that much of the combat has aged poorly. Specifically, the close-up, where, like, if you are right on a motherfucker, there is a lot of stuff that is just bad in, like, a modern context, where it's like, if you get shot, it will just, like, drop you to the ground, and you're like, I need to get up. And they're like, well, we're gonna continue shooting you, so you keep dropping to the ground. The close-up combat is bad. It's bad. It's BAD bad. I don't think that it was ever good, and I think it has only gotten worse over time. However, all of the Kojima-y stuff is, I would say, entertaining, if not necessarily universally great. I think that it is a very interesting game, and I love, like, all of the bosses are just fucking fantastic. You know, the pain is obviously something that you know and care about, which is Bee Guy, who is one of the first bosses.
Beads?
They do not
bees.
allow you to have bees here.
Yeah.
I love it, but, like, it is that PS2 game, and so, like, running underneath a thick layer of Unreal Engine 5 is literally that PS2 game. So
to the point where people are saying that, like, the frame drops and the performance issues align with the PS2 game.
I'm sure there are areas where it does, and I'm sure that there are also some areas that Unreal Engine just fucking bogs down under the stress. But yeah, I would not be surprised that if there are stress points in that core engine and that tech stack that they have basically, like, that is running basically underneath of a huge layer of Unreal Engine. I would not be surprised if that is also causing those issues. I would say the performance is mixed. I think most of the time it's okay, and then sometimes you're in the middle of doing something kind of hectic, and you see it, like, kind of like shit the bed a little bit. Like, it's not awful. It's definitely not unplayable, but it is, like, noticeable. I think there were a couple of times when we were streaming that game where I was just like, frame rates.
That sucks.
It's good though. I don't know if you should necessarily spend $70 for it, but it is a good game. I think I'll probably write something up about it. Well, I don't think it will be a classic review, but I probably will write something up about it for the website. It hurts that I am playing another PS2 game that is running underneath a thick layer of Unreal Engine, which is Persona 3 Reload. I'm playing that kind of, like, at the same time, and I am having an incredible time with Persona 3 Reload. I am just kicking my feet, you know, like, just absolutely giggling about,
like, a baby on its back, like legs in the air.
No, I'm thinking like I'm a teenager on the phone, curling my finger around the cord of the phone. I'm just kicking my feet, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I'm having a good time. And then I play Metal Gear Solid Delta, and I'm like, this is good, but with like 100 caveats. Like, you can't just say like, yeah, you should play this game to like any old person. Like, I think Jared should play this game.
I want to play it.
I think Jared would have a great time. Like, all of the camo stuff, the like where you get bit by a leech, so you have to fucking get the leech off of you. All that stuff's cool, and I think is 100% up Jared's road, like his alley.
Closest thing I'll ever get to Splinter Cell. Fucking Splinter Cell.
But I don't think it's something you can just blanketly recommend to people in general without being like, okay, so here are all these ways in which it's fucked up.
Metal Gear.
Which is something I would say about literally every Metal Gear game, which is like, I love this, but you have to accept a bunch of things that are fucked up about it for you to get into it. And if somebody's like, well, I don't like those things, and I'm like, okay, I mean, it's fine. Like, I get it. I understand. I do like it in spite of many of those things.
You have to know about the Lolly Lule Low.
Oh, of course. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to fuck around with the Lolly Lule Low?
Dude, X-Play fucking played that clip so often.
But probably the Metal Gear Solid 2 Lolly Lule Low.
Yeah, the 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Where they can't say the Patriots. Every time they try
would
to
just
say the
play
Patriots.
It, like, even about things that were not Kojima games, they would just play that clip. And they would also play the clip of one of the Dynasty Warriors introduced a character named Dick Dick, and they would play that clip a lot.
But what if every time that they played Dynasty Warriors and they were like, do not pursue Lubu, it's like, do not pursue the Lolly.
There's another one in Resident Evil. A previous guest, Darren and James, my good friends. Ouroboros. There's Ouroboros. There's a lot of like people saying that. So that's another fun one.
Persona 3. You play? I bought Metaphor ReFantazio.
Ooh.
I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it because it's fantasy Persona. It's Persona but fantasy.
Is it also children in a school?
No.
I
would say no.
I thought that was the shtick. It was like Battle Royale,
right? But it's not Persona, and that's because it's like there are other things like the Shin Megami Tensei or just the Megami Tensei games, and then like there are plenty of those that aren't in a school. If I remember the timeline correctly, they made those games as a bunch of like, here's like tarot card bullshit, here's like demons and monsters and stuff, and it's a dungeon crawler, etc. And then they made a Megami Tensei If, or Shin Megami Tensei If, and that was set in a school. And then they were like, well, what if we started like a sub-series that was set in schools, and that became Persona. And then they released like 3 PS1 games. And it was like, because it was like Persona, and then like Persona 2, and then Persona 2 also there's a separate Persona 2 that is a different game, but is also Persona 2.
I did not know.
And then in the PS2 era is when Persona 3 came out, and that's when it's like, okay, here is a modern Persona. This is what when you think of Persona, this is what you get. This is some of the team, some of the very important team that made Personas 3, 4, 5, spun off into a new development team within Atlus to make a fantasy game that obviously takes a lot of influence from Persona, but it is not a Persona game, but it is like a Persona game, but in a fantasy setting.
What about the Dot Hack series? Is that different?
Unrelated.
Okay,
I think we've had this exact discussion where you've brought up Dot Hack, and I'm like, nope, that's a different thing.
I only knew about those.
Devil Summoner? I think you're thinking of Devil Summoner, which is a Shin Megami Tensei thing.
I only know about all of this because they covered it on G4 a lot. That's a callback. Grant, let's talk about the fall, because there are way too many games coming out, and I am overwhelmed with games, and it's distressing.
So let me look at. I'm gonna look at our we have a game release schedule, and I'm gonna run through them quickly, and then we can talk more about them. As we're recording this, there will be Hollow Knight, Hollow Knight Silksong,
and
coming
Hell
out
is Us
very soon. Hell is Us same day.
Yeah.
Terminator 2D No Fate the next day.
Really?
Borderlands, yes. At least unless it got delayed, which it might have.
I have a different list up, and I am not seeing that.
It might have gotten delayed from the original. It looks like it got delayed.
Okay.
It looks like it got delayed till October. Okay.
October. Okay.
So the initial one, they must have changed it because Silksong, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, hey, let's not release our game
That's smart.
next to Silk Song. Okay, so that's October. Because that must have moved because I
Game
put
of
in
the
the original
year,
date.
Garfield Kart 2 All You Can Drift is coming out on September 10th. So mark your
Borderlands
calendars.
4,
Borderlands 4.
September 12th.
Yep.
Silent Hill, September 25th.
Okay.
Sonic Racing Crossworlds, September 25th.
Dying
Final
Like the
Fantasy
Beast.
that came out in the 22nd of August, right?
I'm seeing it here as September.
Okay, it must have gotten moved as well. I had put this in, and then dates must have gotten moved. I have it here as August 22, but it must have gotten shifted. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicle at the end of September, September 30th.
That's one you
the
care
first.
about.
That is the first game in September that I give a fuck about.
What about Pac-Man World 2 Repack?
No, like that was the bad game. Like Pac-Man World 2 is the bad game you had to buy to get access to the cool Game Boy Advance connection to the GameCube to play the weird Pac-Man
Versus.
remake.
Oh, I love Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Versus.
like so that was the bad game that you're like, well, I have to buy this in exchange for getting the cool weird thing.
Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny, Train Sim World 6, Lego Party. None of these interest you?
No. And then October, Ghosts of Yotei,
Yep.
which I feel like having played Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm like, I'm out. I'm OUT out. Maybe it will be great, and maybe I'll consider it. But like, whoa, I had such a bad time playing Assassin's Creed Shadows that I'm like, I don't know about Ghosts of Yotei. A bunch of Switch ports, Ukulele Replay.
I will be playing that as well.
Replay.
Yeah, I'm all over that.
Battlefield 6.
I'm not into the Battlefield game, so I will not be playing that.
Pokemon Legends Z.
Yep, Z to A.
Ninja Gaiden 4. I assume that you give a shit. It is being co-developed by Platinum, which I do love Platinum games.
I will check it out, but I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing, like with Silksong. Like that's like I don't know, Game Pass or something. But that's very same day, Masquerade, Vampire the Masquerade, hyphen Bloodlines 2.
Yeah,
Vampire colon the Masquerade hyphen Bloodlines.
From the Chinese room, I'm so hopeful that it is cool and weird and interesting. I know that people are extremely skeptical, which is I think fair considering the history that this game has gone through. I understand the skepticism, but here's what I'm saying. I love the Chinese room. They have not disappointed me to date. I think my expectations for this game are in check in that I do not think that it will be a generation-defining RPG. I think it'll be a cool, weird thing that the Chinese room like got over the finish line after a whole bunch of shit collapsing. So I hope that it's cool, but I don't know. Maybe. Who can say? Persona 3 Reload is coming to the Switch too in October.
Does Vampire 2 for all? I'm not gonna say the whole thing.
Bloodlines 2?
Does it remain an immersive sim?
I think that it is much more of a narrative game. I think that it isn't like an action and narrative game. I think is broadly where they have gone with it.
Yes, Persona 3 Reload, Switch 2, on the same day, Once Upon a Katamari, Game of the Year.
But also on that same fucking day, Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. I love the original Plants vs. Zombies. I love that game.
I own that game on Xbox, tablet, I think DS, Switch. That is one of my most played games, is Plants vs. Zombies.
It's such a good game.
It's unbelievable.
Do I want... I think more like want to be like, you should make these games and not like Plants vs. Zombie 2. Maybe I should have included that when we did the podcast of disappointing games. Plants vs. Zombie 2, incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Incredibly disappointing. That game bums me out so hard because Plants vs. Zombie 1 is so fucking good.
It was made before they got bought by EA, and that was when they could just make a game. And then EA was like, what if you made fucking the most microtransaction timer bullshit with
the worst thing,
bok choy that like punches the zombies. I don't know what this is. It seems like an HD up-res.
It just seems like a remaster. It is a remaster that has a multiplayer.
Yeah, it seems like a cash grab. I don't know if I need to touch it again.
I guess, but what if enough people bought Plants vs. Zombie replanted, and then they made more Plants vs. Zombie games?
I just don't know if EA is going to let them do what we want them to do.
Come on. Jared, come on. I would love that. This is I only care about this from a fantasy perspective, a fantasy critic perspective, but Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Mina the Hollower?
I don't have any reverence for 2D Zelda, and so this is the people who made Shovel Knight, which would make me super interested, but watching it, I'm like, this doesn't look interesting at all to me. Like, why are you going backwards? You should be going forward. You should be making
Jared,
SNES...
are we gonna have to play through, like, a link to the past?
Maybe, because I don't know where the hell I'm going, and the combat is super whatever, and I don't understand those games.
The thing to understand about Ocarina of Time is that they basically took the bones of A Link to the Past and then made it a 3D game.
Yeah,
like,
that made
so
it
much
good. That made it better.
So much of what makes Ocarina of Time cool is they're like, okay, well, we already made this game, so what if we took all this stuff and just expanded it?
I think the people who made Shovel Knight Yacht Club, they should be making 16-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit era games. They should not be going backwards to make Game Boy things. But, I mean, that ship was already sort of sailed because Mina the Hollower is coming out. Outer Worlds 2, end of October.
Which is worth noting. Microsoft is under boycott by the BDS movement.
Arc Raiders.
Terminator 2 No Fate, which is listed here as the 31st. If they had put that out in the mid-90s or whatever, then I probably would care. I love the Terminator. The Terminator is up there with Star Wars in terms of, like, movie franchises that have influenced me wildly so. The idea that it is a 2D side-scroller is just like, okay, whatever, man. I don't care. Like, it's fine. Like, it's cool. It's cool that it exists, but I don't want to play it. Like, I would love a Terminator RPG or a Terminator, like an adventure game, like a Telltale style adventure game, but like a 2D side scroller. I'm like, all right.
These are action movies. They have to be action games.
Right, but have you seen Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Oh my god.
It would make a perfect adaptation. It's so good, Jared. It's so fucking good, Jared.
I'm aware.
And
we're into November.
And November has no games.
Luminous Arise.
Oh, I mean, yes, that's true. There are still like I have some gameplay footage of me playing that. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it, but I played the demo of Luminous Arise, and it is fucking incredible. Jared, did you play the demo of Luminous Arise?
No, I was not here.
It is still playable. We're recording this on September 1st. It is still playable for 2 more days. You should download that fucking demo.
But I already know I'm going to play Luminous Arise.
Yeah, but it's so good. COD Blops 7.
COD Blops 7 I will be playing, and then I will be ranking all the campagns of Call of Duty.
Which
that's going to happen.
I have to note, it is a Microsoft published game.
Yes,
Microsoft
they suck.
Boycott.
Fuck them. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. I'm playing.
Marvel's Deadpool VR.
No. Nope.
Twisted Pixel? Huh.
I guess so.
The Twisted Pixel people? Like the Splosion Man people are making a Deadpool VR game. That's so weird.
It is weird, but it like also kind of sounds like up their alley. Like, you know.
I guess like it is kind of meta. Like those games are kind of meta. They did make the Gunstringer, which is like the what the fuck is it called? The Kinect. I guess it makes sense. They also made Loco Cycle, which I think is also maybe Kinect. So like I guess they have the like here's this like weird novelty stuff. And I guess they've been making Oculus stuff for a while.
Yeah, they have.
And I just have not. Which is fine, but it is weird that like the people who made Splosion Man are now making a Deadpool game for your VR headset.
Whatever you got to do to stay in business, man.
Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons.
I saw that,
Sugar Daddies.
And I was like, I like Bubble Bobble. Kirby Air Riders. I will not be playing Kirby Air Riders.
Octopath Traveler 0.
Sure.
And
then
there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
December has a bunch of weird anime things. But what I'm realizing is that it seems like now to like mid-October is just like way too much stuff, and then the rest of the year it's like You can breathe.
Well, there's still a bunch of stuff that doesn't have dates. Hades 2 doesn't have a date. Hyrule Warriors, the new one, doesn't have a date. Metroid Prime 4 doesn't have a date. Mixtape doesn't have a date. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection doesn't have a date. Mouth's PI for Hire, Nivalis, Power Wash Simulator 2, Slade Spire 2.
I would imagine that the Nintendo Direct in the next 2 weeks would tell us Marvel Cosmic Invasion, because what just happened? Gamescom. So, like, if you didn't get a date there, and if you're not getting one at this Nintendo Direct coming up, you're a 2026 game. Like, I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
The Sinking City 2? What else is on?
30. I'm looking at 2026 games.
Oh, good.
The only thing in 2026 that I have, I'm like, oh, fuck yes, is the 007 game.
Oh, yeah.
From the Hitman people.
I'm interested in that.
Obviously, it can go sideways for sure. They also are, like, IO Interactive published Mind's Eye. So certainly, there are some quality control things you might want to question. But, they have the chops to make that game fucking cool as shit.
They gave James Bond a scar.
James Brand, more like.
James Pond, the frog. Let's close out the show by playing a fun game.
Okay.
This quiz is called Himbo or Hero.
Or Herbo.
No, Himbo or Hero.
Okay.
You were to tell me whether or not the name of these dudes are comic book villains or porn stars.
Okay.
Let's start with Johnny Sins. S-I-N-S. Johnny Sins.
My instinct is porn star, so I'm going to go comic book.
It's a porn star, which means that you're not a pervert.
Okay.
William Stryker.
I'm trying to game out, because I do think that there is a striker. I think there are multiple strikers within comic books, but I am now having to game out. Is it like a double? Like, are you being like, yes, I know that you would think that there would be strikers, but this is just some fucking guy who fucks on camera. I'm gonna go porn star.
That is the Marvel villain who puts adamantium in Wolverine during the Weapon X program.
Okay.
Played by Brian Cox in X2.
So my instinct, I've been going against my instinct both times, and then so I need to go with my instinct.
Justin Hammer.
That's so stupid, so it has to be comics.
It is a Iron Man villain who runs a rival company who manufactures weapons and things, and he's played by Sam Rockwell in the film, and he dances a lot.
Captain Hammer, the hammer is his penis. Right.
Buck Adams.
I know Buck E is comic books. I think that's where you're doing it, so I'm going to go porn star.
You are correct. Bucky Barnes is the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Harold Allnut.
Okay. I mean, it's so funny. I'm going to go comics.
DC villain, that's correct. Hector Hammond.
Porn.
DC villain. I don't know DC as well, so I don't know who these characters really are. The Marvel ones I know. George Payne. Payne. George Payne.
Comic.
Porn star. Herschel Savage.
That I don't know, but my initial vibe is like, that sounds like some like 90s X-Men shit. So I'm gonna go comics.
Porn star.
But it does sound like some 90s X-Men shit, right?
It does, and so does George Payne. Like, he brings the pain, yeah. Damien Dark.
I'm gonna say that this is porn, because because I know Damian Wayne is comic book, so I think that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to like trick me, because Damian is a well-known comics thing, so I'm gonna go porn.
He's a DC villain.
Fuck. But that's what you were trying to do, right?
Hey man, I looked up names of stars, and I looked up names of villains, or I used my brain to come up with the comics ones for Marvel.
Damian is it's Batman's son, right?
Yeah, but Damien Dark is... Oh, he was actually in live action. He's a criminal mastermind.
Get in line, pal.
Hold on. Who does Peter Sarsgaard play in Lantern film? Ryan Gosling, Blake Lively. Okay, Peter Sarsgaard plays Hector Hammond, who is like the big-brained bad guy to the Green Lantern.
Does he literally have a big brain? Or is
Yeah,
he
he has like a huge head.
Okay. Yes, then give me that. If you're gonna have, he's a smart guy and that's his thing, you gotta make him have, like, a brain exposed or something.
Yeah, so in the most recent Captain America, they introduced the leader, who is like a green guy with like a huge head with a huge brain, because the gamma radiation didn't affect his muscles, it affected his mind. So he's like a Hulk villain.
There's a lot of villains from the Marvel stuff that just suck so much shit.
Could you give me examples? Because I'm failing to think of
I
it.
think literally every Spider-Man villain sucks so much fucking
We're ending
shit.
the show because he's my favorite, and those villains are the best.
I like Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is but Rhino, Vulture,
yes,
get the fuck out of
they're
here.
great.
That shit sucks.
They're
so
so
bad.
good. I thought you were gonna be like Big Wheel or Arm Fall Off Man or like the really bad.
I'm sure it's even dumber. But like, oh man, like the thing is, like, I liked X-Men growing up, and I think like, listen, you can obviously come up with 1,000 dumb X-Men that like are bad, but the core villains of X-Men I think are really like Magneto is an incredible villain.
One of the best.
Incredible.
You don't like the Sinister Six? You don't like Kraven and
oh my god, Kraven the Hunter sucks so much shit. Holy good god, Kraven the Hunter. Oh my god, Spider-Man has sucked so bad.
No, like, Spider-Man villains are so good. Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom, Carnage, Hobgoblin, Chameleon.
Oh my god! Any of the ones that are just
Tombstone, Silver Sable.
The ones that are just here's an animal.
Black Cat.
Like, get out of my
Scorpion.
face.
Shocker.
Like, I think the reason why Venom took off was like, oh, well, we have like an interesting bad guy for the first time ever.
I wouldn't even say he's like that interesting. He just looked cool.
He has a big tongue, Jared.
Oh my god. All right, we're ending the show. Please.
Give me more porn stars. There are no more porn stars?
No, the quiz is over. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know any off the top of my head.
Jenna Jameson.
No, I meant males. I meant male porn stars. I don't have any on the top of my head.
I'm trying to think. What can I name? Peter North. He's the comes a lot guy, right?
I literally could not tell you.
I think Peter North is the comes a lot is the guy who comes because it's also his name is so close to Nolan North.
That's true.
But I think that I'm trying. I mean, like that is the one that comes to mind. But certainly, sure. I know.
Ron Jeremy. But he's famous for being in other things. So like
wildly canceled. Canceled. Ron Jeremy.
It's also very true. Like people who transition like Sasha Grey like into other stuff, like
yeah.
But anywho,
Gianna Michaels, Belladonna. Do you not know who Gianna Michaels is? Is this because
I've seen this person before.
Yeah.
I've seen this person.
Young Grant knows all about Gianna Michaels.
Okay, gotcha. Anywho, let's move on to the plugs. Please check out our Patreon and our Ko-fi. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we streamed
in the show notes.
We streamed Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. That video on demand from Twitch is now on YouTube. We're going to be streaming Fate of Atlantis, which is an Indiana Jones point-and-click adventure game, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
When you hear this, it will have already come out, and it will be on YouTube as well. I'm gonna show Jared why it rules and is a great game. And like, even if you end up liking the more recent one more, that's fine. But like, why is like a standalone thing that is just here's a cool Indiana Jones adventure. And why it's such a neat game. And assuming that it goes well, which, maybe it won't. But assuming it goes well, I think we try to do a full playthrough because it is a reasonably length game. We've discussed Jack Miller, who is our CEO, wanted to do a full playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. And I had to kind of put the kibosh on that because that is like an 80 to 100 hour video game.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Which to be clear, I love Baldur's Gate 3. I love Baldur's Gate 3. It was my game of the year it came out. But it is a lot to get on board with. This is like a 6 to 8 hour game. So it's a lot shorter. We'll see. We might end up doing a full playthrough, maybe on the Patreon. We'll see how it goes with the first public stream. and see if we want to continue going with it. But I think that you'll end up understanding why I like it and why I think it's a cool Indiana Jones adventure.
I sure did like that Indiana Jones game from last year. There's some DLC coming out soon. I'm interested in that. Yeah, I think it's like a whole new area, which is like that's pretty big. So that's neat. Yeah, and that's it. I have some reviews coming this week. It's an exciting time for the website, and really, really hope that you check out that Patreon and Ko-fi.
And but you want bonus episodes? You want more of this? Well, you'll get a bonus one every month. You head over to patreon.com/videogametown.
And now you're free to go Google Gianna Michael.
Alrighty, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.